Alright, we're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show!
Hi.
How's it feel? Everyone feeling good? Are we actually rolling?
Let's see some hands out there.
Yeah, let's see Chet. Chet, can you tell us if you can hear us? Talk to us. Talk to us, baby girls.
We'll wait like 30 seconds for the stream to catch up on you guys. I'm just gonna sit here and drink.
And Block is talking, so we're good to go. Hello everybody, welcome to the HAX Show, the Hebro, Anna, and Xeer radio program. For the next however long we feel like talking, we are going to talk about whatever the hell we want to, because we can, and we're the ones that you're all listening to, so fucking deal with it.
Pretty much. Just get some things out of the way. I would like to first announce that jokes about Xeer's penis having a wire in it, perfectly fine. We have absolutely no issues with talking about Xeer's penis and or rods that may or may not have been inside of it. So that's absolutely fine. However, beyond that, let's try not to do IRL insults and that kind of nastiness, and try to keep trolling to a minimum. Because we're here to have fun, but let's
Wait a minute, you guys allowed to talk about my dong and copper wiring, but you know real life insults.
I mean, it's a small topic, so.
You just mean a short topic? I mean, it's so goddamn tiny.
No,
it's like I'm so angry all the time about it. Like, legitimately, I'm raging about it. I sat there, waited for the mailman to show up, and I kind of just cried a little bit when he showed up. Let me know that nobody cared.
This is, you wonder why he's angry on the forums all the time? This is why.
It's so tiny.
So, a little bit of background. We are going to have Sledgehammer as a guest on the show. We were originally planning on doing call-ins, but we found out that Sorrow apparently was loaded because it takes like $40 a month to subscribe to that shit.
That's crazy.
And, well, I'm Jewish.
So you're loaded.
Yes.
Why aren't you paying for this shit?
Very, very tight. So
Dude,
there's
that's
that.
like 3 sparkle ponies, or I don't know, however much the WoW gold it would take to buy that. Come on,
Whatever, dude.
I'm
I'm Jewish, not a brony.
Aren't the bronies like a proud people who get really pissed off and cry whenever they get persecuted by the public at large? Hey, maybe I got something in common with the bronies, you know.
You said it first, not us.
Yeah.
Weren't we just talking about how you're a closet furry? Could you go?
Yeah,
we actually just talking about
What, you live within like a 5-mile radius of like a convention?
And you have been to a convention?
Wait a minute. How often do you guys think about my dick and who I'm with?
We're not thinking about your penis. We're thinking about you in a fursuit. There's a huge difference here, son.
Do you really want an answer to that?
Mm-hmm.
You can't handle the truth.
So you guys wanna, like, we've been asked to clear up the orcworm shit. So should we go ahead and get that out of the way?
Yes, Orcrum is back. I'm here trying to announce.
Orcrum is back. In terms of, okay, so I just got a whisper.
Random plug.
Showing visuals. We are working on that. Like I said, this is kind of, yeah. I know you hate the black screen, Lex, but
why is it got to be about color?
Xeer's fault. Xeer's fault.
In regards to the falling out between Anna and I, the honest truth of the matter, there's only one. We thought up for a long time about how we wanted to say this, and you know the implications and so on and so forth, and believe it or not, we decided to take a page from a 15-year-old's book and thank you, Juicebox, and just say, "E-women ruin lives."
It's true. They do.
In any case, so moving on from that. So yeah, everyone's happy, and we're all.
Well, I'm never happy, but I'm satisfied for the moment.
Well, maybe if you came to terms with your latent homosexuality, you'd probably realize that you two and Hebro are meant to be together.
Okay, Mom. Thanks.
If you think about it.
Thanks.
No, if you think about it, the fact that, you know, overall, you two were just meant to be together, and all of your latent hate, your bickering, your back and forth, it's like a really terrible Japanese cartoon.
You sound jealous. You sound incredibly jealous.
Yeah, I know you're really jealous of this, Xeer, but I mean, until you deal with that wire, it's just not going to happen between you and I.
Seriously.
Listen, man, you're just pissed off that you don't have a dog being pulled up like a goddamn balloon animal, right? I'm sitting here right now, I already got like a goddamn elephant going on right now.
You feel a little bloated right now, is that it?
Not bloated, it's more like, you know that song about your ears hang low? It's more like, how many times can I wrap my dog around my neck?
Welcome to the radio show, folks.
And by that, he means none, because there's a wire in it.
Yeah, if you laugh at your own jokes, it becomes funnier.
It kinda does.
Kind of does.
I
We're
mean-
gonna come back to the fact that you're waiting for somebody to take a shit on the hood of your car.
But between that and Sledgehammer eating his own jizz, I mean, that was kind of the creme de la creme.
What? I missed that.
Yeah, that was the stable mare story about Sledgehammer. Is he definitely consumed his own seed?
Why are we talking about her? I thought it's supposed to be about us.
We're not, we're
not
talking
the
about
fact that she's
Sledge.
Pissed off about.
While we're going on, we
This is the new
We are-
standards for the radio show.
we are taking questions.
We're not even past minute 10.
We'll take a few questions before we bring Sledge on, and while we're bantering back and forth. Also, at the same time, if you guys do have, yes, we know it. Thank you, Linnea Dell. We know it's called snowballing. In any case, if you guys have any questions,
Wait, we know. You know.
shut up. You know too.
I don't
Any
know.
questions?
Is
Comments?
she in
complaints
chat?
about the
I didn't see
show?
that.
No, she whispered me.
Oh.
Then
How did she whisper you about snowballing?
I don't know. She's a psychotic redhead.
I like snowballs. Of course, it didn't snow down here.
I'm sure you tell all the boys that when you meet up.
They also
How often have you been using Grindr?
you know, come to the art, or how does that work?
What?
I don't know how it works. You fucking tell us.
Yeah, explain to us snowballing. Apparently, someone has feedback. That's not good.
Who?
Well, that sucks for them.
Depends on who is it, whose feedback it is.
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, we could be somebody who's just a bitch and just complaining for the sake.
What the topic is at the moment is, other than Xeer's penis, really, we're just kind of chatting at the
We're stalling for content.
We're stalling for content.
We have to stretch out an hour here, folks. Run with us here.
But, please just, at this point, we really don't have, any set topics. Sledgehammer will be coming on at some point. We're kind of being evil, but he's like, can I come on now? Can I? Oh, fuck no.
Sit down.
He can go,
Wait your
set
turn.
up his own radio show. Maybe Mort needs a co-host along with Hillscape. Go hang out with her.
Oh god, now we're talking about the other show. We said we wouldn't do this.
Wait, who's we?
You pale face.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, why don't we take a moment to actually explain who the fuck each one of us are and why we matter? At least
Introductions.
So,
That's an
yeah,
excellent
I think
idea.
we should go alphabetically first. So Hebro should go first.
Really? But Anna comes before Hebro.
Yeah, but
I do.
HAX.
Wink,
HAX. Hebro comes before Anna.
That's true, but it's not alphabetically, which is what you said.
Okay,
Well,
so
I'm showing favoritism.
who I am is I'm Hebro. I am one of the priests of ED.
Worst priest
Uh, Worst priest, without a doubt. Worst priest ED.
Fuck, I'm worse than you.
I am in the guild mercenary outfit, along with Return Gooch and other people that are more important than me. Yeah, so I will be doing ostensibly. I mean, we're all going to be making our stupid comments about everything, but my technical official role is to talk about PvP. I'm the PvP dude. And next comes
Somewhat.
Anna.
Yes, I am Annihilation, the RP lore-breaking name. DK, leader of No Significance to Orkworm. Have been for it's been almost about a year and a half since it was established. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of Orkworm, and in some positive or negative fashion
Orkworm?
of myself. Orkworm?
Work.
Orkworm. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I do. I sit around and form Gladiator.
Mhm.
That's me.
And finally Xeer. In any case, so moving on from boring content.
Get fucked.
Speaking of
Goddamn
form gladiators,
random off-realm transfer bullshit asshole. Come on. Anyway, my name's Xeer. I started playing WoW on Emerald Dream, I want to say, early to mid Burning Crusade, so I never actually had to use a poop sock, but I know what they are. And I have never actually bothered to leave because I can't find a bar that will have let me have an open tab, $15 a month. Otherwise, I definitely would have quit this game a long time ago.
Are tabs still a thing?
What? Bar tabs? Yeah. I mean, if you know your bartender well enough and they trust you, or if they don't know any better.
Interesting.
And oh my god, my entourage has arrived. This is great. Anyway, so I am here to specifically talk about forum nonsense, why kids are bad, and pretty much anything that might be interesting to me or not interesting. I feel like poking people to see how they react. And I feel like we need to move to our first topic before we get to Sledge. I really wanted to talk about something about the idea of property and whether or not it actually has some kind of intrinsic value.
You wouldn't be talking about like roleplay and RP personas, would you?
Not so much that. I'm more concerned about the fact that Blizzard has stated multiple times that they do not want people to actually spend money on in-game items that have some kind of outcome on how you play the game, such as gems, or flasks, or herbs, or stuff of that nature.
Or challenge mode carries?
That too. And
challenge mode carries.
That's a real thing. I mean, of course you want to like buy your way to the most challenging content in the game.
Hey man, it's all about those titles and the fact that eventually when you see the light with this terrible game, you can sell it off for a few dollars more.
A few dollars more, I think.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is,
fine.
Is it technically theft if you raid the guild bank and then G-quit your guild? I think it's not, because there is no actual value involved.
Well, I don't know. Is it? I guess that's kind of the question. Is if can you steal someone's virginity? I mean, I think the same thing applies. I mean, exactly. Like you can technically steal anything, even if it has no value. I mean, we're talking about ED here. I'm sure there's a lot of girls in here whose virginity has no value. In any case, and men. But I think you can still technically steal it, even if it has no real monetary value. It can still be stolen as long as it has value to somebody.
Yeah, but Blizzard has already come out and said that there is no value. So therefore, how can you steal it?
Just because Blizzard made the game doesn't mean the end-all be-all authority on what happens in the game.
What do you guys think? Chat, what do you guys think?
Chat. Of course, we had to sit here and wait for 3 seconds.
We had to
for the
wait
peanut gallery to figure what the hell they got to say.
Kappa, chat.
And I have no idea. Well, I don't even know why we had to rely on those guys. I mean, we already know that these are mostly forum goers who have no original thoughts of their own and wait for somebody that they agree with to speak on their behalf, and then they can just quote and upvote it and then laugh after the fact.
You're the ones that just deferred to the chat, not me. By the way, we're up to 121 viewers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yay, we're special. We have a fan.
Out of what? How many plan ED? Like 100,000?
Hell if I know. So, I mean, that's not even significant.
Drop in the bucket?
Drop in the bucket, yeah.
You just called all our viewers drops in the buckets. That's great.
Oh, no.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no. Boy, we're on the. I'm sure Charx is gonna make a question today about it. And
oh god, you just brought up Charx.
Oh god.
She who will not be. Is that a he or a she? I never figured that out.
Charx?
It's whatever you want to think about when you close your eyes at night.
I mean, he's Canadian. Is that?
Well, I don't want to speak ill about our great neighbors of the north. I mean, the USA has one of the best borders of the planet. I mean, we got 2 oceans to our side, a really weak neighbor to the south, and an irrelevant country to the north. So I don't really want to do... What?
Don't talk about my homeland that way.
Dude, we talked about this earlier. You admitted that you weren't a Canadian. So if anything, you're at least a...
I know, I'm not talking about Canada, I'm talking about Mexico.
Oh, that? Well, I mean...
Mexicanadian.
How is that even possible? I feel like you'd ultimately be American at that point when you join the two together.
It's true. It kind of evens out.
Ah, that's actually good. Though, I do actually... So, on that same vein, one thing that has been kind of raging on the forums, the debate is, like, intellectual property, especially in terms of things like roleplay personas. I guess the most obvious example would be the Ebon Rose persona of Return versus the Ebon Rose guild run by Hanzo. So what, both chat and to my fellow viewers, what is what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you handle someone copying your RP?
I try not to have an opinion about it.
Well, no, that's not fair because we're all here and we have to have an opinion. Everybody has an asshole, therefore everyone has an opinion, and they have to regurgitate whatever they think has to be shared with everybody else.
Yeah, but my opinion's unpopular, so I don't have one.
Well, this is the point where we can make you popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep agreeing with me.
Yeah.
Eventually, keep saying that over and over again.
That's what I do. I'm just going to nut ride you forever, and that's how I get my E-fame.
Well, you got to share the nuts with Wesker. He's been riding him since the better part of, what, like 3 months now? 4 months now?
Ooh. Got the call out.
No, the call out will be the fact that whenever I'm walking outside, I feel a tingly breeze underneath my ball sack as I walk along, and I know that he's there in spirit. He's thinking about me. All I gotta ask is that he stops chewing all those Altoids, because first off, that's way too much sugar, and that's bad for you. And next off, I really don't think anybody could appreciate eating that many Altoids at once.
You kind of sound a little salty there, don't you?
No, that's a little mentally.
It's not about what you say that conveys the salt. It's about the tone in which you say it.
What tone? The only tone that I care about is what comes out of my printer.
That was the worst pun ever.
You're the worst one ever.
Are we supposed to be talking about
there's actually some good,
RP?
there's some good return play. I don't think it owns all.
Oh yeah, that. Well, I know what you're talking about. So personally, I think the thing is, it really just boils down to more Kings of Thieves drama. And I mean, I realize I'm a guildmate with Return, but when you have as many gray pubes as I do, you just kind of know a few things about how this realm has been, and Code is one of them. And I fully believe that Return came up with the RP idea because Hinnick is spending more time trying to make sure that he's written into other people's stories, and Hanzo doesn't have a creative bone in his body. So the fact that after Return had left Code due to Hinnick requiring Return to make a RPG group and then micromanaging him over how to make it unsuccessful, I guess, I could see why Hanzo would imagine that he has rights to Return's, idea. I don't know. That's just me, though.
I guess I don't know. I think that it is one person brought up a really good point and said that everything's been done before, and I guess that's true. I guess that it would have been, I don't know, like, because it's a general idea, like having a bounty hunter type service or mafia type guild. That's a basic concept. I guess the thing that threw me was the mailing of the rose. I guess I don't know. I think that I think ultimately, really, what it comes down to is, I guess, being polite. So if you're going to,
I can agree with that.
I think if you're going to take or mimic an RP in a very direct way, I think that probably the best way to handle it would probably be to discuss it with them in private, and just be like, hey, I'm not really cool with that, or no problems, and so on and so forth, and kind of go.
Well, the other thing is, I would be okay with if you wanted to repurpose someone else's story. At least you had the creativity to think of something a little different, like calling yourself the Purple Rose or the Yellow Sunflower or anything but
Yellow Sunflower.
I like that, actually. Yellow Sunflower.
Well, that's because you're fruity as all hell.
Nobody expects a yellow sunflower.
Yeah. But
the Black Rose. I mean, come on, that's so cliche deadly. The Ebon Rose. The Black Death.
The Purple Nurple. I don't know, but.
Strike Sphere.
Yeah, I just feel that Hanzo would have taken any name that was already carved out by somebody else and had already made successful. It is plagiarism. I mean, what was it? Thinkles was yelling about copyright protection.
We're not completely ignoring the chat, but you guys need to just settle down, Adgrar, and take a deep breath, and remember that we're still working out the kinks, and right now, more or less, we're just chatting. Like the first show, we don't have a really set script here. What we're doing is we're just, and more or less just having fun.
Well, also chat's going by really fast. Even I'm having a hard time keeping up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if we sat here and tried to read everything that was going on, we'd end up having to respond to somebody who's already scrolled past 3 times the screen. And personally, I don't really know most of these names, so I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and also at the same time, like, oh my god, these guys are so biased. Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm not biased.
we're not trying to be a consulting service here. We're a talk show.
I mean, on top of that, you guys get what you pay for, so
I don't think I can argue with that.
yeah, you can't argue with it.
All right, it's time for my opinion. And I think I'm pretty unbiased. I think it's been pretty clear in my history that I'm not a really big fan of Return. Although at this point, I really don't have anything against the guy. And I think I can sympathize a little bit with somebody trying to rip off one's RP. I think I agree with what.
How unbiased and neutral charged language you use.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't rip off somebody's, or what was it? You said he did rip off? I don't know, my brain just shut down for a second.
I can't remember what I said.
Wasn't very important then.
It was very neutral. I can understand why you would be upset. Because if somebody tried to rip off Orkworm, I guess, I'd be a little testy. And I agree with what Hebro said, that, both of you said, is that at the very least, I think asking permission in private would have been really a nice gesture. And if they always say no, it's not like creative ideas on what to send in your guild around is really, like, it's not like all the ideas have been taken. You can always think of something cool, something better. It's not like, oh, he said no. What are we going to do with our guild now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I just feel like the conversation ends when you blatantly grab someone's idea and you don't even at least give a token. Oh, hey, person X came up with this and I'm running with it. And if you don't do that, I feel like you just don't really deserve any kind of, I don't even want to use the word cooperation when it comes to other people, or non-trolling, or criticism, pick a word. It just doesn't matter because it's not yours, therefore you should feel slighted about having to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me, and I mean, I'm sure anybody who agrees with me be seen as a nut writer, and I'd hate to abuse the fans.
Oh no, somebody called me a nut writer. What am I going to do?
We are going to be working on getting call-ins at some point, but
No
going
promises.
going back to what was talked about originally, like we were having a lot of issues with the fact that we were like, oh shit, it's $40 a month for this shit. So in that case, do you guys wanna go ahead and bring Sledgy Poo on?
I think we should. Okay. I'm ready for Sledge. Yeah, as long as Sledge is ready for us.
Chat, are you guys ready for Sledge? We're gonna have to wait.
I guess Sledge isn't ready for us.
1 minute later.
Hold on. Let's get him on here. I have to find him on my contacts list.
Your very long contacts list
Yep.
of people you don't play with, or people who you need stuff from. Yeah.
Ooh.
No, we're not going to get Vesker and Charex on because we'd scare off the entire viewership. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Hey, don't pull it.
Hello.
Sledgehammer, welcome to the show.
Who's that?
Hi. Hello.
So, Sledge, I guess we should start off by saying, just...
Wait, I gotta address this real quick. I'm better than Vesker, sorry, get wrecked. Keep going. I had to address that.
Snap.
A lot of people better than Vesker. I mean, I'm not speaking of
Way to set the bar low.
but I mean,
Take what you can get.
HAX Radio Show does not condone public callouts. Disclaimer.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Sledge does not speak for the integrity of this radio show.
So, Sledge, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Well, right now I'm sitting on a computer. Okay, no. I'm a Sledgehammer, GM of Order, yay. Former GM of Disorder. Been on ED for about a year and a half now, I think. And I've been in guilds with all of y'all at one point, actually.
Impressive.
I kill things, and I'm in the military? I don't know. That's what I got.
are we really sharing that much personal information?
I don't know, man.
My name's Xeer. I enjoy long walks on the beach.
And
That's a lie.
Poetry.
Whoa, you want to go walk on the beach then? I could arrange something. I'll go see you. I promise nothing bad will happen.
I'm terrified that if you crossed Mississippi, there would be a big old voice.
last time that happened, shit didn't go.
Yeah.
Hey, now listen, we're not talking about what happened here at the Hillside Memorial. We're not talking about the fact that Monica Lewinsky managed to disrupt an entire presidency. We're not
Why
here to
not?
talk about Esther wondering about why I care about him so much, or dislike him, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
Salt.
I did so.
We
I
call
did
it
not
salt.
kill things in the military, except maybe like bugs, because I'm a desk jockey. Fun.
You're in the chair force, aren't you?
Yes, all the
Hey,
chairs.
I heard a vicious rumor that whenever the air conditioning goes out, you get hazard pay.
No, they cut that. The government cuts are hitting us pretty hard right now.
Well, I guess go ahead and while we're bantering back and forth, chat if you guys have some questions for Sledgehammer.
They
go
will be
ahead.
promptly ignored.
I think we'll start with this. This is a popular topic. So, what are your thoughts on the Horde and Alliance balance on the server from a PvP perspective?
It's
To
fine.
be honest, I actually don't think it's that bad. I mean,
You mean currently?
currently. Yeah, the Horde are a little more centralized. The Alliance are uncentralized, but I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, there's still plenty of targets out in the world, and I mean, the Alliance showed on Timeless Isle, as you know, Hebro, when your frame rates died. We can, if we want to, match them, but I don't think my sanity can take those fights too often.
All right,
But overall, I don't think it's that bad. Currently,
we have a question
From-
from our wonderful friend Namninia. I don't even know how to fucking pronounce that.
Niamina.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I
So
just call
why
him
do you
Smokey.
faction transfer so often? Are you chasing something, someone?
No, I was just thinking that because in terms of faction balance, it always seems like Sledge and Order are always the first ones to jump at faction transferring in the guise of balancing out the server.
Well, my thing is, when me, Extends, and Face, we all transferred it. We came from Windrunner, and we played on the Underdog faction for years. And so whenever we were Alliance at the time, WSB had died, and Warbringer and a couple other guilds were just derping everything into oblivion. And yes, I suppose I don't listen to Peaks and chasing something nice. And so just felt like we're on the winning faction, and this was boring, to be honest. It really kind of sucked, actually. So we went Horde, and then went over Horde, and to be honest, Disorder didn't really go that well. I mean, it didn't go as much as was what I'd have liked. And then
Really?
we all kind of missed Alliance, yeah.
It kind of went off for like a year. Is that not doing well?
No, it wasn't bad, but it kind of like, to be honest, we're a lot more active now that we've made Order than Disorder was for like the last half of his existence. So, but like I don't know, I kind of missed Alliance, so came back, and it was fun. And also, not to mention, I've only gone back and forth once since I've been here over the last year. It's not nearly as bad as some other people. Just saying. And
Sorry, I had some.
He who should not be named.
I mean, I've gone back and forth about as much as a certain Hebro in this call, or
Snap.
Hero.
I made a very pretty night elf. I don't want to hear your shit.
Them's fighting words with the
You guys
host.
are criticizing me for hopping back and
I
forth.
did-
I've
I'm
done it as
just-
much as you guys. So
No, calm down there. now, Sledgehammer. You need to. Honestly, like, I guess you haven't bounced back and forth that much. But
and yes, Ezio is great, and one other request. Oh yeah, and Lex is my homegirl. Done.
Oh god.
Well, ultimately, what it feels like is that when you went Horde, your namesake held true. Would you feel that that is actually the appropriate representation of how your guild has been run, or do you think that's just kind of coincidence?
Namesake, as in what?
The fact that you went Horde. I'm actually surprised I had to explain this to you. So,
I'm tired.
your name is Order, ran well. Now Disorder when you're Horde. I mean, I feel like I'm having to use a felt board with you. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm tired. It's funny. I mean, the first half of Disorder actually went really well, especially whenever we like we had like it was us and Holy Inquisition and Division 7 back when they were like half as small as they used to be, and so it was really nice there for a while. We actually had to me that was the most balanced ED had been since I'd been here, because the Alliance was decent sized, but there was no super guilds. Same with the Horde. It was just a bunch of medium sized guilds going at it, and it was really fun. And then who came back, and there you go. I actually did lose a fair amount of guildies to that, because a lot of my guild members were outside Warformer in that guild, and so they all left and went there. So that was part of the reason why, on top of people getting bored, and this and that. And I think Return asked a question.
Well, Return. There's actually two questions. Return asked one, and then there's another one up there.
Okay.
But they're both similar. One was, do you feel that Warsong Battalion is a positive or negative for server and faction balance? And the second one, which is from Return, is what do you think of Warsong Battalion 2.0 and the recent crashing RP drama?
So I think WSB is good for the server. That's.
I think you've already.
Sword.
I think you pretty
Yes,
much
it
made your
promotes
opinion.
World PvP. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with chat as best I can, but it's
Don't
a
bother.
double-edged sword. Yeah, they promote World PvP, but at the same time, it's not exactly the best type. Like, for instance, let's see here. The other night, we were out in Duratar with about 12 people. And we've been out there for a bit. And then, lo and behold, suddenly, Himanshu appears in Frost Presence. We actually kill him instantly. And then I'm like, run away. Next thing you know, 30 people drop on us. But all but like 3 of us escaped. So that wasn't too bad. But like, there's always the constant thing of, especially because if I have a guild group out, I know if they're out, we can't really do anything. Because if we ping anything, we're going to get death blocked. It is what it is. So, I mean, just have to change tactics, but it is kind of annoying. But at the same time, they do promote World PvP, just maybe not necessarily the best type. And as for the RP crashing, yeah, it was scummy. He knew what was going on in there. He dropped 40 people in there. If he said he thought there was 50 there, there's this magical thing called /whoing. Just saying. They went there with the intent to fuck with the event. They didn't stay long, I'll give them props for that, but they knew what was there, and they went there willingly to fuck with the event. That is all.
So what you're saying is that it was a ploy for attention, in your opinion?
Actually, yeah, that's actually pretty right, because there hadn't really been that much WSB action on the forums. And
You know
lo and
what?
behold,
I will play devil's advocate on this. I will take up the mantle as chief defender for the Warsong Battalion, and I would say instantly that it ultimately falls on the event organizers to ensure that if they don't want their event to be disrupted by the other faction, to take the measures to ensure that they can't. So they should have gone to Shattrath, they should have gone to Dalaran, because then when a large group shows up and starts spamming banners or whatever the hell you want, you can actually petition Blizzard and they'll do something about it. Otherwise, it literally was PvP happened. And
yeah, it was.
just sucks for you guys, but you should know better. And if you really have a problem with that, then I hear Moonguard is recruiting. Just don't go to Goldshire. I hear they're really scummy places this time of year.
Hey, it's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't think it was technically griefing. I think what was it called, just trashing or wrecking it, because isn't griefing like a really technical definition? But it was still kind of a jerk move. And yes, I was in WSB 2.0 for about 3 weeks.
I was in
and then my morals kicked in.
I
Wait,
had
so
my
why
alt
did
in
you
for 2
join?
days.
Why did you join then if you knew what you were getting into?
I wanted to give them a shot, see if they really were WSB 2.0.
Dude, that's sort of
and
like
they
saying,
weren't.
hey, I want to give heroin a shot. This is a great idea.
Well, hey, live and learn, right?
It reminds me of those. It reminds me of those kind of relationships with the woman's like, I can change him. I know he's a good person inside. It'll be different this time.
Kind of relationship only certain individuals would really appreciate. I mean, I realize that there's 50 Shades of whatever trailer just came out, but that isn't exactly the pinnacle of a healthy relationship.
Wait, there's a trailer? They're making a movie out of that?
Yeah. I mean, didn't you hear like the collective flooding of like women freaking out over a terrible fanfiction?
What was
of
Lenny's question? Like, Chad is going
I've
ridiculously fast.
I've got that covered. So there have been a couple questions that were asked. One from Adgar. Sledge, are you a better player than Hebro?
No.
Of course you picked that one.
I mean, it was the first one. There's a couple more. Lexandra, question, Sledge. Do you believe the skill level of your guild is superior to other guilds, and how do you handle losses when it comes to guild versus guild fights, if you've had losses? I think she might be alluding to
I know.
that Order was defeated by Foul games, but I could be wrong.
No. We got them the first time Order was around. They got us this time. They beat us, but we fake trolled each other. But it was all in good fun.
You know what board game I would love to see? I would love to see a board game.
Project Mayhem.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Sadly, I feel like we'd end up trying to stream it, and we'd all be sitting there playing with our fingers and our asshole.
Hey, Foul didn't dodge.
Oh,
so,
boy.
Hey, I mean, we fought. They beat us. There you go.
It's not every day everyone can admit defeat.
No, they beat us. We had like I think 3 10v10s. They won 2. We lost we won one, I think.
Linnea Dell has a good question. What kinda RP would you be interested in doing as a whole for Order? Any good RP experiences that you've had?
RP and Order. Actually, right now, me and them, like some of us actually went to like Delurk's. It was me, Kayleen, and Xens. We went to Delurk's trial the other night. It was actually a fun little event to go to. Yeah, there were issues, but whatever. But I'm not overly sure, but I do kind of want to start spinning that side of the guild up because there is interest within the guild. It's just I haven't really given it too much thought. I just got done with classes, so I'm gonna hopefully start working into that a little bit. Although I might ask Linnea Dell for a little bit of advice. Maybe she kind of knows what she's doing. Maybe, I don't know.
Kind of. That's an understatement.
Yeah, you know, I have a couple other people I can ask too. Certain rear reveal type person. Yeah.
That's definitely. I mean, I think that it would be. I don't know.
I won't advertise Order as an RP PvP guild because we're not. But if we're a PvP guild that has RPers in it and obviously respects RP, because yeah, then we'll go from there. That's my stance on it.
I think that's fair. So, I guess the next question would be, if you were to rank guilds in terms of their collective abilities in World PvP, Alliance side only.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Can we qualify this with or without AoE abilities? Because I feel like that would be two very different.
Instead of qualifying it with AoE abilities, let's change it up. Let's say in a medium of a 20v20 or less.
You gotta give me the tough ones, huh?
Of course. I think this is a softball show.
Yeah, I know. I would put Knock number 1. And then, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but Order and Kingdom of the Blue Lion I think would be fighting for 2. It'd be close between us. They do have a really good RBG team.
Order. Dude, they're like the only 2 guilds over there on the Alliance side. Come on.
Yeah. Sadly, Order doesn't have Guardians yet. We did like 5 or 6 games around 2K MMR. Didn't do bad, but our comp was atrocious.
We do have another question from Lenidel, as well as one from Aberration. Aberration asks, how much does Sledge lift? And
He's Air Force, not much, I can already tell you.
These are the hard questions we're asking here.
Lenidel says, Sledge, why you suck sticks?
Okay, let's see here. The first one, how much do I lift? I lifted a teddy bear earlier today. And as for the second one, I was drunk one night. I'm sorry. You've all seen that video, I'm sure.
That's not a real answer.
That's a terrible answer.
Yeah, can someone actually link that video?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really... The guy that made...
Oh, that was... that was Shock Blast, wasn't it? Oh, there's some potato. Okay, if you guys could go back and select your main class spec... Or reselect, sorry, your main class and spec, would you? Or are you happy to be best at what you're playing right now? That's actually a really good question.
I think he's asking all of us, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I guess we'll start with Sledge. How would you answer that question?
If I could go back and reselect my... To be honest, I'm very happy playing Ellie. Thunderstorm is just fun. I remember when that ability was first put into the game, knocking people off of cliffs. It's pretty fun. That and randomly globaling people as elementals also fun. Although it does kind of suck in 1v1s, especially against melee. Like I made like a Windwalker, and he's a lot of fun. But I'm still gonna main Sledge for WD. He's been my main since the early Burning Crusade. I'm not gonna change it. Although there's times where it's really tempting. Really, really tempting.
Xeer.
I would probably pick Warrior because back in the day, it was actually kind of hard, and I would like to be a little better at this game, and having to actually manually stance in order to, do anything would probably make me a more rounded person right now. But I will stick with the fact that I'm healing, I hang out in the back, I can easily be carried, and just live life vicariously through the other people in front of me who worry about killing blows and whatever macros they have to make that happen.
Just pushing buttons when they light up.
That's what I do.
Well, yeah, but, it's a little harder as a healer. I don't know. Fuck you.
What about you, Anna?
I was going to say Warrior, too. Damn you stole my spotlight. I don't know. I because I play with a lot of, well, I used to play with a lot of ults, and I'm really so indecisive. And with DK, I kind of feel like I need a break from melee, but I couldn't decide on a ranged. If I got like an instant 90 right now, I'd probably pick warrior, just so I could run around and dunk on people.
That's nice.
I dunk on people.
Hey, I answered the question.
Yeah, you answered the question while you're sitting there playing with your twiddling your dick. I mean, come on. You have a little bit more conviction when you're talking.
Well, that's because I'm not very convicted about it. Like, I'm such an alcoholic. Like, I can't decide on one class. The only reason I play DK so much is because it's like associated with me now.
I thought it was because it started at level 55, so you wouldn't have to level it.
That was when I originally came to ED. Yes.
That's not a bad idea. As far as me, I actually started. Warlock was my first class when I started.
So you played Oh My God Buttons?
I
That's all you
did. I played Oh My God Buttons. It was my first I guess 70, and first 2200 was my Warlock. And if I had to do it over, I would be Priest from the beginning. I love Priest. I wouldn't change it. And I don't know. I love just everything about the class. I think it's a lot of fun. Let's see. There are a couple different questions here. At Sledge, for the Alliance, whom would you say it falls to hold the mantle of leadership to fight against Warsong Battalion? Or do you think that is even necessary?
To be honest, I don't think there really is a singular mantle. There isn't. I mean, Chaos kind of does. It just depends. Like, sometimes Warbringer will appear and they'll swoop in. As for me, I mean, I kind of have stopped leading the Zergflex. I mean, I'll bring my guildies there. Like, I've ran around with CBH a fair amount of times, but I don't think there's really one person that could claim a mantle. It's just really hard, because I mean, like 20v20, and it was Order and someone else, 2 guild masters, me and someone else. Probably say Order, and if I had to fight Order and Knock, I mean, who knows, maybe we'll get that war game one day. But
okay. And there's another question. This is for all of us. I'm assuming that you are all friendly with the people on the other faction, and probably have some on BattleTag.
Nope.
I know I do.
Of course I do.
How does that impact your world PvP? Do you ever look at where they are and go hunt them? Do you ever feel bad killing them out in the world? Do you ever avoid engaging someone if you are friendly with them? That's a good question.
No, it's an easy question. It should be. If it's red, it's dead. And if you guys are going to use the idea of internet relationships in order to prevent a proper camping spree that should exist, then Moonguard is recruiting. It's a fantastic place this time of year.
Okay. Oops, sorry. I'll cut you off.
No.
And I'm going to hear about a bunch of peaceniks in a second, aren't I?
Care Bears.
So let's see here. Me having people on the, of course I do, and I do use them for /who's. But oftentimes I will go hunt them down.
Well, that's kind of scummy. Come on, let's be honest here. Why the fuck are you using /who?
Because it's a tool, and I use it. I don't use it anything more than that.
Well, yeah, nuclear bomb is a tool, but you shouldn't use it anyway. I mean, come on.
Well, we use it against Japan. It worked fairly well there. Maybe, depending on your point of view. All right, and then.
Oh, you're so terrible.
And then as for us hunting people down, of course I do. You can just ask Alexandria. I got her a couple of times, and
I don't even know who the hell that is.
And then I ran into Alexandria yesterday. That was really
again, you're using names of people I just don't know nor care about, as if
maybe if you log into the game, you'd see that.
Oh.
What are you talking about? I'm sitting right here. Skillsoft tried to AFK gank me while I was sitting next to Garage using my goddamn homeboy.
Actually, I did try to gank you yesterday, but it didn't go too well.
Yeah, I know. It was hilarious, the fact that I was AFK watching X-Files, and you still managed to not kill me.
I think a more important question is, why the fuck were you watching X-Files?
That's because X-Files. That's because it's such a boring show.
I mean, I do realize right around the time when Scully gets pregnant, it turns into my baby. But up until that point, the show is pretty solid.
We have two actually pretty good questions from Agrar Ed. I don't even.
It's Agrar.
Use your words.
Thoughts on no fight in WOD at launch? Pro con? Oh, flight. No flight.
Yes.
Are you excited for World PvP without flying, or do you think it's going to be a pain in the ass with all the Zerg kills with no option but to fight through them?
I am
personally think
excited.
Sounds like hell.
here.
It's going to be fantastic.
I'm happy.
Me too.
I just
wish
want to
they'd
get to
remove
100,
flying from the
man.
game. That's
It's gonna-
fantastic. I wish they would remove those goddamn flying mounts from the game. It would make things so much better.
I agree.
I wish they could remove cross-faction alts. That'd be another great thing. I wish they would remove the idea that there's going to be a cross-faction auction house, because fuck the Alliance. I realize that
Oh,
was
yeah.
for a brief period of time, but everyone's allowed a lapse of judgment. I've come to terms with it.
I forgot there was going to be a cross-faction auction house.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm not sure how
interesting.
I'm not necessarily certain how I feel about that one.
You're going to make gold.
More money, more
care.
problems.
Here's another question from Lex. What would you consider quality world PvP, and do you believe it needs structure and rules that are agreed to by both sides? Ooh, good
No.
question.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I agree with Xeer. No.
Quality, yeah.
I mean,
There's time and place for both.
God.
There's a time
Yes.
quality world PvP. Good escalation back and forth. Both sides somewhat have fun. You can actually play your character in those 6-minute blade storms, gooch. But that's a.
How can you have fun if your enemy's having fun?
Both sides can have fun. You can ask Foul. We had fun. There's times where it's like good to have war games, but there's times where it's just also good to just have random chaotic world PvP.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that from a TMO perspective, and we are a little hypocritical about it, is, you know, we do bitch. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know, about the fair fights and whatnot, what have you. From my perspective, I would say it's more of a, as long as the engagements are enjoyable, I think
Yep.
that's the big thing. So, for instance, like if you bring 20 people to fight 3.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little I don't think it's really that much fun for anybody, but you know, I don't know. I think it's a tough question.
I'll throw a couple examples out too. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes we will get zerged by small groups. Like, I think Series actually brought this up in a Skype call at one point, where like 3 or 4 people leaped on. I think it was 8 people leaped on 3 of you, and they probably did it because they knew that you guys would get more to get a fight going. So there's that aspect of it too. Another thing too is, like, you guys talked about arranging fights, this and that, and yes, I know some people are completely opposed to like real ID cross-faction talking, but if y'all remember Ravenhall's event, which didn't go over so well, like all the raids on all the cities, it was on the forums, and every single raid was countered. But like, I was assigned the Ironforge raid, and we went there, and me and Rusty talked. The CBH was like camping in the, defending the console, and me and Rusty were talking. We're like, and I'm telling him, I'm like, I'm not going in there. And he's like, all right. So then we kind of arranged a fight where me and him communicated back and forth. We like wiped once. He let us res. Then we moved both of our raids into the commons, and we actually had a somewhat fun large scale fight. It wasn't freeze framed, and it was a lot of fun back and forth. We got some of them. Then we wound up wiping once, like, I think it was World PvP's Finest showed up and got us. But there's times where having people on both factions can be very good, but there's also times where it can be, of course, very bad.
I have no idea what you just said.
I was just providing examples.
Examples? Never mind.
I'm
Next
sorry.
question.
Caffeine.
At Sledge, thoughts on the first couple of days in WAD where cracked talisman is rendered useless? There is a right answer.
Fuck yes.
I think it's a yes or no
Exactly.
answer.
It's gonna be great.
Do you think it'll be very annoying?
I don't use the talisman, so.
For who?
that's fun. Well, I wonder how a certain druid on a different realm is going to take this. And also, is it confirmed that the talisman does not work in Draenor? I've always seen these people saying it's not going to work, but do you think? I mean, has it actually been confirmed that it doesn't work?
Doesn't
I
it
don't
say?
know, yeah.
I thought it always said it only works in Pandaria.
I don't think it does. Like, everyone always says it's not going to work, but is it actually confirmed that it doesn't work? Has someone gone on to beta, found that mob, killed it, and then tried to use a trinket on Draenor? Has anyone tried that?
Crickets.
I don't know.
Ah.
I personally don't care enough to actually play beta, so it's a complete surprise to me what the hell's going to happen. I mean, for all I know, Priest could suddenly sprout, like, goddamn horns or something. And
Or 4 wings, like Dipso.
Listen, don't fucking make fun of the four-wing lifestyle, alright? It's a real thing. We do not appreciate your persecution. And if you're going to sit there and shit on it, we're going to have more words. Yeah, you giggle right now, don't you, mate? Yeah, you do that. Swear me,
I will.
mom.
You having a giggle, mate?
Yeah.
Let's see. Looking at Sledge, do you think that most of the high-quality PvPers all play the same faction so they can murk lesser players and not have to fight any real competition?
That's why I gank Lobies. I mean, why not?
No, not really. I mean, the concentration skill-wise, I do kind of think there's a slight tilt. I mean, I think there is a tilt towards the Horde side. TMO, Project Mayhem, Foul's pretty good too. I do kind of think it's a little touch Horde heavy, but not much. And I don't think they do it just to murk people. Like Project Mayhem / Corp, they've been Horde ever since I've been here. That's just the faction they play on. And they do their thing. You guys bounce back and forth once since I've been here, as have I. But I don't think they do it with the intention to murk lesser players.
Here's another question. Do you guys plan on doing RP with Avicii at all? I was told that Evan Rose wanted to do something with Order.
I have no clue, and I don't think we'd do something with Evan Rose.
Why not?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, finish this question. Finish it up, and I got a question.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Is it tough or is it controversial?
It can be. Controversial is the better term to use here, I think.
I think we already had a discussion about.
Be careful, we're gonna open Pandora's box here.
Oh.
We don't open that box anymore. That's a bad box
Please,
to open.
no more.
I think I'm.
Go ahead and ask, Xeer.
Oh God, I think I'm the only person you can truly claim I have nothing to do with that. It's fantastic.
I hate you.
Do you guys feel that camping lobies or attacking undergeared players is wrong or unethical on a PvP server? I personally think no, and I see no problem with camping them into oblivion.
Define unethical.
Well, I mean, there are some people, like Legs, who feels that attacking lower level players is not appropriate in any capacity.
Define not appropriate.
Just as a douche move. There you go.
Is it?
Well, you call it douchey, I call it.
Oh, I don't think
fun
it is,
at their
personally.
expense.
I do one kill, and then I
it-
move on. Unless they're WSB, then I only kill them a couple times, and I move on. But I usually don't touch them, but I don't really care either way.
Dude,
I
that's
mean-
bullshit. It's not that you don't want to touch them after a couple of times. You just know that the raid is going to show up if you manage to kill them more than twice. Come on.
I think it's more about your personality type. I mean, do you consider it fun to go out and squash bugs?
Not really. Like I said,
Well-
unless they have a certain guild tag or they're a friend's lobby, then I will go after them, but that's because I know them. Or I hate their guild tag. One of the two. I shouldn't say hate.
Hold on, guys. We got an important question. Somebody direct something directly at me. So, Xeer, what do you intend to do about the current state of potatoey? First off, I'd make sure that it would be
Potatoey.
spelled properly.
Hey,
Next,
Dan Quayle.
I would ensure that they are all properly fried and then served, possibly with some kind of heavy lager. I mean, that's just me though. Maybe a nice
Oh,
IPA,
God.
because fuck please.
If you ever bake a potato,
Oh,
I'll
I
kill
want to
you.
throw one quick comment in, and it was like randomly ran over in all of this. Balavar, talk to me in game. Keep going.
Who?
Balavar. I'm pretty sure he's Autumn Paw. I'm just guessing. He brought up OOTK.
No,
I'm just guessing.
Autumn is Autumn.
I don't know OOTK people that much. I think I've talked to Balavar.
If it was Belvar, he would be erping someone in the middle of chat. You know it's Autumn because
Oh,
she's been fawning
damn.
over return the entire time. So
I'm sorry. I apologize, Autumn.
it's okay.
Wait a minute. What is this about Belvar? I don't even know who the fuck this is.
Belvar?
You don't know who
Belvar
anybody is,
the
do you?
guild leader of OOTK, known for his giant Canadian beard and his ability to erotic roleplay with women in large quantities.
What's
like
with all the
Batwoman?
Canadians?
No, not necessarily large women, just lots of them.
Oh, okay. I mean, you got to be careful what you say. 'Cause, I mean, there are some people who probably get really offended by you saying that. Come on, man. Bad people are people too.
No, they're not.
Well, I mean,
Are you condoning the fat lifestyle? Are you an enabler?
no, not really. But just I do enjoy donuts. I do enjoy beer. But I mostly run to make sure that I don't completely blow up into a balloon. Yeah, that's right. Giggle at me. Get
Yeah,
fucked.
I like giggling.
Yeah. huh.
I guess at this point we can really open it up to feel free to ask questions in general and just to any one of us. Comments, everything.
I think they've been doing that this whole time.
Like me ask you?
Yeah, if you have any questions for us as hosts.
I did see one question that was in the chat that I will address to. All right, so Hebro, why are you so insistent on dueling people as a healer? It's really annoying, man. I hate
It is, isn't it?
When I dueled you, our duels would last forever. You'd eventually beat me. I think I got you low like twice, but it's just ridiculous.
I don't know. It's something that, like, obviously the state of healer versus DPS duels right now kind of suck. And there are definitely some skill aspects to it, like from a slow match perspective. But what I really enjoyed was back like during Wrath, the disc versus rogue duel, for instance, back in Wrath was a lot of fun. And there are still a lot of like mind games and tricks that you can pull off, and other like little nasty shit. I don't know. I guess I kind of like dueling with healers because there's a little bit less, I feel, the like... Well, okay, so a great example is Hunter versus Shadow Priest. Hunter wins every single time, pretty much. Or Warlock versus Hunter.
You know what? I just feel like this is just an excuse for you to shit on people. I mean, I can imagine it being fun in real life to beat toddlers with pool noodles, and that's what I feel like you get. That's where you derive enjoyment from that. That's what it is. You're beating up on toddlers with pool noodles.
All right.
It's funny because I went to Hebro's priest workshop as my DK specifically to learn how to kill priests as a DK, and I walked away from
Damn,
there.
necrotic strike.
I want to throw one quick thing in here real quick, but just to break this up. Charax, can you relink me the question you said earlier? I know it. I think it was about Warbringer or something. Can you just refine that and rewrite it? I want to make sure I answer it right. That's the one I wanted to address. Y'all keep going while he finds it. Because Charax had a question for me.
What are you saying, Anna?
Oh no, I'm done. Don't worry about me. No. I was just gonna say I walked away from the workshop thinking I stand no chance.
Well, I mean, I remember I'm doing it from the perspective of a priest. I mean, I'm sure if someone did it from the perspective of a DK, you'd probably feel a lot more comfortable fighting them. So, I don't know.
Because DKs just suck.
Who do you... oh, here's a good one. Who do you all think is the most and least offensive of the ED form regulars?
Most offensive?
Hall of Fame.
If you guys don't pick me, I'm gonna fucking rage quit right now.
Ah, look, there we go. There's Charax's question. I'll address this while y'all think it. Yeah. All right. So I made it.
No. Answer the goddamn question.
Yes. Okay. So I left Warbringer. I was in Warbringer for a while there, and I was one of their most active officers. And I led a pretty decent amount of their world PvP. Jalen led another fair chunk, and Fire would do events from time to time. And I was pretty active in the community. But the thing is, due to the way their requirements for each rank were, it was just kind of ridiculous, I thought. Like, I had to do this on the website, I had to lead low and more RPGs, and I'm just kind of like, I already do a huge ton of y'all's world PvP. I mean, people thought I was a GM, but that's a whole nother thing. And I just felt almost underappreciated. Actually, I did feel underappreciated. And so, because there were other officers who were higher ranks than me, but I didn't necessarily see them do things in game. I don't want to call people out, but I'm just being honest. It's what happened. And so that's why I left Warbringer, was because I just felt underappreciated that, and it felt like I was in the military in game, but I'm already in the military IRL. I really don't want to be in the military in game either. Just saying. I want a little bit of chaos in my WoW experience.
Here's a question that I guess was overlooked because I didn't even see it. From looks like Blightbane. With Keepers of directed at me, with Keepers of Stromgarde coming back and Orcworm, and other new RP PvP guilds sprouting, would you ever consider hosting another RP World PvP server war in the north like in the past? The answer is hell no.
You hated that, didn't you?
It was... The idea and the concept was great, I thought. I had a lot of fun, and the one thing that Charax actually did is Charax, from his little point, actually helped coordinate one of the events and did really well. So there were some people that definitely helped out. But overall, the experience was exceptionally draining for me, and I had a lot of I don't know. It was very frustrating. And what ended up happening is just from the very onset, people cared much more about winning and losing and not about the plot and the story. I mean, the fact of the matter is Orkworm at the time was set up to lose from the beginning. We weren't going to freaking hold the keep. I mean, but that was expected going into it. It was about the story, and people lost sight of it. Strux, that's actually another really good point. We spent more time discussing it than actually getting anything done. Ultimately, it was just, I don't know. It was
I don't know, man. I just felt like all your plans went to naught because a couple of Clan Battlehammer Zerg workers decided that they just wanted to rush across everybody else, and then everyone else followed.
Well, it was more than just that. Like, there was a lot of different things that really went into it.
Hebro, we're referring to the thing last summer, yes? We tried to get that spun up.
Right.
I think it just had too much build-up. People were really excited at first, and because we waited so long to start it, that it just kind of interest waned.
I think it kind of overhyped itself.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. There's just it was definitely, I was very overwhelmed. I don't know. If I were to do it again, I would actually focus less on World PvP. And yeah, Charex, actually, that's a very good point. It was a good idea. The event was too big, and individual guilds didn't do enough to organize. That's absolutely true. I would focus less on PvP and more on the RP if I were to do something like that again. And I would definitely probably keep it maybe smaller. Do you think that CBH has lost respect at all from the community for aligning with World PvP's finest?
I want to get this one first because, well,
Go ahead,
I'm the GM of an Alliance PvP guild.
Go on.
Are you now?
Oh,
I always thought that was extensive.
When did this happen?
Noxie. No, sorry, Noxie's the GM.
I heard Facehugger was running the show.
Yeah, he did about 2 minutes last night.
I mean, let's be real here. Sledge never runs anything. It's always the vagina behind the scene.
Oh,
Bam!
The E-vagina.
All right, sorry. Go ahead and answer the question.
Okay. And so, aligning themselves with World PvP's finest. I know because I've done some fights with them myself, and you work with what you have at times. There's times where you can't help it. Like, if you're fighting in a place and then they appear, you're gonna wind up fighting by each other, and then you kill them, you move on. There's times where, like CBH is defending Iron Forge. If World PvP's finest shows up, what are they supposed to do? Not help them? I mean, they have the same goal in mind. Enemy of the enemy is my friend, kind of. I mean, it's tough. I mean, not everybody in that guild is bad. They have their derps in there. We won't even get into the judges trial RP thing. That was I was there. That was painful. But I mean, sometimes you just have to make do with what you got. And yes, Vesker, I am seething.
So mad.
Next person that wants to answer the question.
I would say that Clan Battlehammer has become more interested in lining up along the tiles in Ironforge than actually doing anything, except when they manage to have 40 people online, and then they line up, and then they go do something.
Pageantry!
So I don't think they've actually done anything meaningful in a while outside of going with them and 39 of their best friends to do it. I don't know, just I feel like if they're unable to really do anything on a smaller scale, then there really isn't a point of doing it because you're just hiding behind your spam AoE buttons.
My opinion on Clan Battlehammer, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that I like in Clan Battlehammer. A lot of very good people, and overall I think that their leadership are well intentioned. However, Clan Battlehammer, almost every World PvP experience I've had with Clan Battlehammer was already negative. And the fact that they're aligning themselves with World PvP's finest, yeah, I mean, I guess I could say I'm just not fucking surprised. And yes, this is more or less a gossip show. That's exactly what it is.
Much to our detriment. Never like a train.
really quick, one quick question that was asked by Bob's Mott. What are your guys' thoughts on Kithris?
Kane's best red ED. Kane's best red ED.
Doesn't matter.
Kane's
He's not on the
best
server
red ED.
anymore.
Kane's best
Wait,
red
I thought he was like a ret version of Nasus, or however you pronounce his name. Like, I felt like he had a bunch of rando girl drama that followed him from the other server, which is why he came here, and then he left again, magically.
He did have random girl drama, particularly enough from the predictably girls who create drama.
Girls who create drama. God damn those women.
It's always the
Coming
same
on
one. I was in a guild with Kithris after he left Warsong. We started up. I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, I left Orkworm. That was the first time I left Orkworm since forever on my DK just to help Kithris, and I was really excited about it. We were going to do some RP. We were going to make an RP PvP guild, and we had some interesting backstories set up. I was an officer. I was going to lead the melee division of the PvP group, and then he just up and left one day, and it kind of made me scratch my head.
Also, there's been a couple questions about this. I'm not sure where. I mean, if we gave the impression that we were unbiased by any stretch of the imagination, we're not. We're all three kind of douchebags. But
Hey, man, I'm my number one fan here.
But, I mean, ultimately our job is to entertain, but we will, of course, have our own little biases. We're not trying to be,
It makes it interesting.
yeah, the most neutral person. But, I mean, ultimately, our hope
Hebro?
is that you're entertained.
I feel like you should role play as, what's his name, as Larry King, because I feel like that's what the audience wants. You're the best fit for that.
I hate you.
I got some really cute suspenders that you can wear, and we can, like, slick your hair back.
You would. You would
as
have
long as-
suspenders.
As long as it's not Gary Busey, I'm okay.
Was he a
Hey,
radio
man, why
show
you gotta
host?
be like that about... Why did it be like by Gary? Gary's cool. Gary's the man.
What are your thoughts about making Kuchma?
Have to slay the
Thoughts
wolf.
Never
opinions
gonna happen.
on Zendarian and his justification of crashing RP.
He bombed the event just like the rest of them.
Well, yeah,
Well-
he was in Warbringer.
I love
I mean-
Zendarian. He's a good friend of mine. But Zendarian is also one of the quintessential definitions of potato.
With an E at the end.
Potato-y.
Potato. Oh, this is an interesting question. Anna, do you believe you were the true leadership during the Orkworm times, and what or how did you contribute to its success?
I think I can answer that one unbiased. People don't believe this, but Orkworm did exist before Hebro joined. We started. I knew you'd like that.
I legit thought Hebro was the GM.
Yeah, I can. And I don't have a problem with
Common
that.
problem with you guys. I mean, seriously.
I don't contest that. I mean, he pretty much was. And I'll say, because it was that point when Willany left. Willany and Grifta left, and we were the three that originally founded Orkworm. And I just kind of lost all motivation to lead the guild. I liked it, and I really liked what it had become. I felt pride in its success, but I stopped logging on so much. I stopped getting in the mumble. I mean, Hebro knows that. He's the one that told me that I wasn't being very active anymore. Before we even started fighting. And yeah, I don't have a problem admitting that. Well, I think I started out as a really good leader, and I think I did help build Orkworm up, gave it its initial momentum. I was kind of absent during its peak, and I don't have a problem admitting that. I'm really good at organizing things. I'm not very good at motivating things.
And I'll be honest, the flip side of that coin is I make an exceptionally poor GM. I think that I fit the role well of being like a spokesperson or whatnot, but I think ultimately, I don't know. I think ultimately both of our hubris and pride really really screwed us.
Oh yeah, I'll do a quick shout out. Facehuggers van, best van.
Does
Always near the nearest elementary school. There you go.
Does TMO have plans to go Alliance for WOD or even before? And I I guess the best response that I can give you with that would be kind of the Batman response of, Murkout will go where the server needs Murkout to go. So no,
Dude, that's not funny.
I didn't
Work on that.
at the moment there's no Planets to Go Alliance.
Dude, don't do that again. That wasn't funny.
I feel like it was a real Batman movie because I couldn't understand a damn word you said.
Dude, that was so bad. I felt like you had little. You were wearing the goddamn bat suit with the fucking nipples on it, like George Clooney style. Just don't do that again, please.
How will speaking of PvP RP guilds, KP is making its return soon. How will that affect the Alliance landscape, and does anyone care? No. Next question.
Hey, I think he was asking all of us. Thank you.
Oh. I separate women from WoW, unlike my co-hosts, so it's not an issue with me.
Guys, what's a KP?
Oh.
Karma Police.
Place.
Oh.
Karma Police is the OGs for the Dark Portal maintenance and ensuring that all individuals had their paperwork in order and to make sure that I'm trying to remember the exact thing. What was it? They're trying to make sure that there were not enough, there were not too many people who were disrupting the mob balance out in the Outlands. So you therefore had to have your papers ready, and those who did not would be quickly dealt with. And there was a lot of rage, and it was hilarious.
Quick question for Anna. Are you recording this on like Twitch? I think you have to enable the auto recording. I think the Holly Forest asked on the forums that this is going to be.
It does archive itself automatically on Twitch. Yeah.
All right. Just because some people missed parts of it.
Taz actually has had a good question. In addition, let's see. In addition, do you think you chose correctly in the officers you chose?
Ringles was
I guess-
number one officer. I don't care what anybody says. Ringles number one Orkworm officer.
That depends. I mean, do you want me
When
to
it
go
was
through it?
online.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Ringles was a great officer. He, I remember that time he flew out to, what was it, Anderhall, and helped me out when this jerk ass was ganking me on my my alt.
I think no wait, it was a
It was a monk.
Kind of monk.
Yeah, it was a monk
was
and you were your rogue.
It was a Mistweaver, and I couldn't do anything because I would like start killing it, then it would run away.
Mm-hmm.
And you were so low that it could just look at you and you would die.
I was like 40. You were both at 90. You were the only one who showed up when I asked for help.
Mm-hmm.
Big
How
help
do you
you
guys
were.
feel about organizing dueling tournaments? Any chance of seeing a cross-faction dueling tournament?
No,
That sounds like fun.
No, sounds terrible.
What do you mean, you guys? Us?
If you get the right people there, and you do it maybe in like in Dalaran or something, maybe.
I
could do like war games, 2v2s, have like a camera guy there and let him go in there.
I would love to commentate on it, but
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think I don't think I mentioned it with you guys, but I think it'd be really nice if we had like special episodes when events are going down in ED, just to commentate on stuff.
Hey, remember Orkworm and Warbringer did a 2v2 tourney? I think Nos
Did we?
kind of.
Yeah, we did. It was terrible because all of our heavy hitters, like any of the good players, didn't show up. So it was literally me and it was Ringles and Chalding, Clicks were the only ones who actually managed to almost kill somebody from Warbringer.
I think Nos was in there on the Warbringer team, and Nos is like probably the best Ellie on ED. Well, at least if he still plays.
really quickly, Legs is the leader of TMO. Question: why do you guys set standards that you guys cannot seem to commit to yourselves? I don't know. I kind of feel like that one's how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
3.
I would ask what standards we promised to uphold because I don't remember promising to uphold any.
This is actually a really good question. Do you guys feel that the server transfers have diluted the RP culture of Emerald Dream?
Yes.
Depends.
Come on, guys, let's be honest. I mean, we got a lot of people randomly coming to this server because they hear about the Epic World PvP, and they just don't give a fuck about why it actually got to that point. So you end up getting a bunch of randos showing up, getting all confused about all the flack they get for showing up, and then they ultimately cause a lot of RP events to just not happen because people become apathetic.
I agree. Those kind of transfers are unwanted. And the kind of people who do transfer over here for the RP and the PvP are usually much more quieter. They don't make big announcements on the forums like, "Hey guys, I transferred. Yeah, look at me."
Well, adding to it, you also got the people who come here from like KT or Tick who think, "Oh, hey, role players, I can easily shit on these because I don't know how to
I
keybind,
agree.
a trinket. And fortunately, there are people who run around who actually know what they're doing and large groups of like 20 plus while lining up an Iron Forge. So it hasn't been too much of a problem yet, but I think with WAD it's going to get really bad.
It could be an issue.
Nia has an interesting question.
Who?
Niamina. Fun fact, Order will be hitting its 1-year anniversary in about a month. Let's see here. Why do guilds these days not last very long? If they last a year, it's some big accomplishment. Why do you think that is?
This is WoW.
Yeah.
We're nerds with a short attention span, and we like to pick fights with each other. I mean, the reality is the vast majority of the drama on the server is because we're fucking bored. So,
Right now.
This expansion fucking sucks.
So,
Yeah, I thought Cataclysm was bad. This is even worse.
I like this one better than Cataclysm.
Well, you're wrong.
It's just dragging on.
It is that, but before it was dragging, I thought it was really good.
Remember, you took a break for like 3 or 4 months. That's 3 or 4 months of brain dilution that you didn't have to go
I didn't take a break from WoW, I took a break from ED. I was still playing the game.
question.
Where were you, Moonguard?
Do you think that getting
declined
100
answer.
people to Zerg City, outnumbering the other, is real-world PvP, or do you think world PvP is better in a smaller fashion? Well, I think we all pretty... That's... Yeah, I like smaller world PvP. That's just... I mean, that's just pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah.
Heltor has a amazing video about lag world PvP that I think you should check out. That really sums up my
Link it in the chat.
sums up my opinion on that. Let's see.
Also, Heltor, it's Xeer, Anna, Hebro, of course, and then me. Well, Sledge.
All your
yeah.
favorite
Me.
people.
Oh, look at that! I have everyone's favorite attention-seeking hunter says Hebro. What was it? I like to pick fights with each other. I don't necessarily. Well, I do actually. Yeah, I take that.
Yeah,
back.
you do.
I enjoy picking fights with people, but more to the point, I'm just honest. I'm just gonna be honest. So if I don't like somebody, I will say why, and that reason may or may not have validity. You're welcome to think that, but if I don't like you, I'm gonna probably speak up.
That Swift thread was funny.
Follow-up question to my first one. Since you guys sort of think that server transfers have diluted our server, do you think that it has changed the way old-time RPers like Return act play on our server?
I would say so, because people get jaded. And you really don't want to work at building something when either people just will not care, or they'll suddenly show with 40 of their best friends to fuck with whatever you're doing, just because they can and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
A la Warsong Battalion.
You don't want to spend all day polishing your car if someone's just going to run up and take a shit on its hood.
Mhm.
Especially when there's 40 people doing it.
Question, do you think that since 2v2 arenas don't count for anything, they should introduce 1v1 arenas?
No.
No.
Hey man, I would love to see
Monks and
a rogue
boomkins.
versus rogue, or boomkin versus boomkin, all time, all day, every day arena style thing. I mean, it would be great.
I'm really glad this game is not balanced for 1v1s.
Yeah. Boomkins, Windwalkers, Champion, God X's, and Apparition.
Kelly, you're welcome to ask a question if you have one. Oh, so no. Oh, you're gonna murk out? It's okay, buddy. I understand if you just want to come in here and bitch.
Who's Kel?
wait.
We have.
Mwah.
Okay. Oh.
Who is
here's
Kel?
Niamina.
He is the hunter that likes to say, "Hey guys, I'm a hunter" on the forums.
You mean
Wait, I
rogue.
thought that
He's a
was
rogue.
the
Oh,
old rogue.
No, that's Seals.
Agrod has a question.
Question, do you feel that part of the reason ED has a problem with transfers is because the majority feel that you need to put in your time here?
I would
think
say
that
it's more.
sentiment's kind of right.
I would say it's because the people who transfer here usually had started the game during Kata and feel like that makes them special.
Hey, not all transfers are bad. I think ED
Well-
would be boring if certain people hadn't transferred here.
Ultimately, I feel like it's the people who started the game during Cataclysm who really fuck things up.
Oh, this is actually a really good question.
Is that Jalen? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jalen. As the X-Back is dragging on, nothing much is happening. Do you think that this strengthens RP because people have to entertain themselves, or do you think that it kills it because there's no new content to work with?
It depends on the individual in the guild, in my opinion.
I was
Some
just gonna
people
say
are
that.
people where- It just depends.
It does.
There's no blanket answer that'll
Like,
solve that.
yeah,
Except
because
that.
I know Phoenix High Guard is doing some great stuff, but like they're like what, one out of how many that are just sitting around doing nothing?
Like even like leading world PvP events in order, it's like, well, we can drop on someone in Shrine, we can hit vendors, or maybe go sit in org. There's not too many options right now because there's just not people out in the world. There's daily areas are for the most part empty, and I'm not gonna drop a group of 12 on Timeless Isle unless
I think
there's someone.
I think that for ED specifically, I think that it actually probably hurts it, all things considered, because of the way ED works. I think that the drama overlaps it.
Xeer, you need to answer the question.
No, no.
I'll answer it. Hey,
It's
would
fun.
you rather sit on a dick and eat cake? Sit on a cake and eat it.
Well, what kind of cake are we talking here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it's some kind of, cheesecake or something, it would put a little bit more ambiance to the whole situation. I don't know. I am a fat kid for cake. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I'm just not gay enough to actually want to do anything with a dick, but I definitely would do terrible things to a cake. But then again, I'm also avoiding the question directly.
So you're indecisive about your cake dicks.
I'm just not that gay to admit that I like dick, okay? That's what it boils down to.
So
It's less about how much you like dick and how much you like cake.
Hey man, everybody loves cake. Just not everyone likes dick. I mean, unless it's their own dick. Because I mean, I'm a fan of my own dick. Aren't you a fan of your dick? Or are you a fan of my dick?
Not all of us have a wire in our penis here, so let's be real here. Okay, let's see.
ooh, red velvet. That's good.
It's not gonna get old. Oh, I hate red velvet cake. I hate it.
Get
It's
How-
so
how it's so
obnoxious.
bad?
It's so obnoxiously rich. It's
Yeah,
so
I'm the
bad.
same way. How do you feel about people hating other players and guilds after getting popped? I guess I'm not sure if it's supposed to be popped or pooped on the Timeless Isle when I use censor. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I got this one.
Okay.
Cryptic X. I never see you on Isle. You're always, in Stormwind saying the same thing over and over and over again. Just saying. I've never seen you on Timeless Isle.
Overall, I
way
think
to-
the spirit on the question.
I'm just calling it as it is. I never
get
seen
mad
it.
over a video game, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I get irritated sometimes when people like banish in a 1v1, but I guess that's kind of natural, I suppose.
I know, I feel like if they banish, you win. That's just me. Then again, I just don't know what I'm talking about because I have ratings that equate that to like a 12th grader or something.
Question: do you think you should show your faces or perhaps some kind of video for your next show? That's actually, like I said, this is all. We're still way in the testing stages of this, so we're definitely going to move in that kind of general direction.
You know,
Um,
I thought it'd be cool. Just have kind of a picture up in front of a stream. I was thinking maybe we should do like a contest in the forums where we can
No.
have a
That's a terrible
Don't
idea.
let me finish. Have an
I'm
art
not gonna let you
contest.
finish.
An art
This is not that
contest
kind of
to
relationship.
see who can
You don't
draw
get to
a
finish.
cool picture for our stream. Like maybe the three
know
of
what's
us in
gonna
like a
happen?
pose or something, like with our characters.
No. You know what's going to happen? Helter's going to draw a dick butt or something.
Let him.
Possibly
Maybe he'll win.
cake,
Let Helter
and
get-
that will be it.
Maybe
And
he'll
you'll
win.
Look at my goofy little mug.
Yeah.
Cake,
Rain Poppy
while
has
you're all
a
getting
good
pissy
question.
by why is there so much favoritism for Xeer.
do any of you feel that there's an appropriate time to use a banish trinket?
No.
Yes.
I can see it now.
Ultimately, honestly, no, and I'm a big hypocrite because I do use it sometimes when I'm being zerged. But ultimately, I'm going to try to not go back and grab another one. And I feel like it's one of those things where I don't want anyone to use it anymore. Hopefully.
I always keep one on me at all times. Doesn't mean I use it all the time, but I always have one.
Come on, Dipso, you get split in half. Don't even
Do
fucking
you guys
lie.
think that there's a threat for guild size? Once a guild reaches so many members, is it debilitating, or is a debilitating of its quality inevitable? TMO only has 100-ish tunes in it, so it seems like you favor smaller. Not necessarily. I mean, you can always set standards for your recruitment and have good players in it. TMO isn't kept small out of skill. We don't recruit really based on World PvP skill. We recruit based on just more of a family than anything else. We're not... like, people ask all the time, do you have an entrance requirement for TMO? And the answer I give them is no. You know, it's not really, it's not about that. So I guess to answer your question, you know, if you mass invite, yeah, obviously. But beyond that, I guess it just depends on what kind of standards.
Amro, zero. Well, me, I can at least say zero. Never. Because I know better.
No comment. I'm not even gonna start. I'm not even gonna start on that because I'm drunk enough like I would.
You see, that is the voice of reason right there. This guy. You're not getting all
The answer, Amrathos, is too many.
Zero knows.
I do want to see
gold to that little chick that seems like she has a cute vent voice is not going to lead to anything good except for a bunch of ruined dreams, tattered lives, and possibly a ruined credit card. Xeer is not about that lifestyle. Xeer is all about going down to the local bar, finding some very questionable chick and doing things in real life because you know what?
And finding out
are only temporary.
Hey, I thought you were in a committed thing, Xeer. I didn't know you were still shopping.
Can we join the call as a guest? We are working on that, but I don't know. It's
eventually.
It's one of those things. Let's see. Would you guys let me in TMO? Kiba, no, because I don't know you, and that's a big thing. When TMO, we're gonna open our recruitment doors a little bit more as we get closer to WOD. What do you think? What do you three think of the recent Shattered Mall Clan happenings in game and on the forums? What are your opinions on Agrar since the aired laundry?
Agrar's in Orcrum now.
Let it begin.
All right. Well, I personally feel that while he may have taken things from the guild bank, he didn't actually steal anything because in order to steal, the item has to have value. And Blizzard does not want people to associate real-life cash with items in-game. Therefore, he didn't actually take anything.
Just because someone doesn't have a cash...
Well, I mean, ultimately what it boils down to, I will say he raged pretty hard. I mean, come on, it's Agrar. I mean, you can't spell anger without Agrar. But I feel like those other guys, I don't even know who the fuck they are, they made the thread bitching and moaning about how he somehow managed to hurt their feelings, and if Agrar can manage to get to you, you're automatically at fault, because he's such a goddamn t-ball player when it comes to what he talks about and getting people upset, that you only have yourself to blame if you react.
I think you revealed just stole our thunder in chat.
Pardon?
you revealed just stole our thunder in chat. He sees transferring off the server.
Oh, he is? Oh, whoops.
Sorry, Sergeant Twitch. I didn't mean to ban you. That was
misplaced.
Hey, the wrong person. There we go.
Correct. It's a good answer.
I don't think they know Lexandria. I think it's just kind of going.
Yeah, we there really isn't, I guess. It's supposed to be only an hour, but I guess since it's our first time, we're kind of just, you know.
We said like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're
roughly.
We're having fun. There's another good. Q dodging in teams. Daticus complaining about Helter's team Q dodging. I think that the only time that you can complain about teams Q dodging is if you've never DDoSed a person. So I think Daticus probably would need to sit down where that's concerned. But that's just my personal opinion. So it's just kind of one of those things. What do you? Does anyone think, or does any one of you think that ED forms affect what happens in game?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we'll go after people like based on something that was posted, just for shitsies.
You can't just say something in a vacuum and expect it not to have repercussions.
Oh yeah. Of course. like, I don't know, like, what was it, the Knock
Made.
Project Mayhem drama? I want to see them wargame. That's a wargame that needs to happen. Like, there should be no dodging. I want to see them go at it.
Dude, they're gonna dodge, because they realize that PM's gonna graveyard camp them, and they're gonna laugh about it the entire 20 minutes of the game.
I don't know, just both sides talk trash to each other. Fight it out, duke it out somewhere. I don't know.
Wait, who are they fighting?
No. It's Knock and I think Project Mayhem have... No, they're raging at each other for some reason or
I thought it
another.
was-
I never really followed those threads.
I thought it was Knock and Warsong that wouldn't work
Oh,
at
they
each
do
other.
too.
No,
They
I
do.
have never DDoSed, nor will I, nor have I ever used a third-party program.
My Xeer's ratings have never been high enough to justify using DDoS, and I don't even think I can figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
Do we think that the SMC thread backfired on them by your estimation?
Too many paragraphs for me.
I would say...
Yeah, I didn't
you
read
guys
most of
need
it.
to learn to
Yeah, same here. I didn't.
what you're saying.
I mean,
So
I don't
you're
know.
not on the front page anymore.
Yeah, it was kind of a too long didn't read for most of it. For me, it's kind of like, 13-year-old girls fighting it out.
I already made up my mind before I started reading this thread.
When are you changing? That's a helper question. Why are there so many rage threads about Ilskane? Did she rustle your jimmies or something? That's a good question, because I have no idea, and I didn't realize that you had actually paid attention to her.
I don't think you've ever made a post about it.
Yeah, I opened threads. I've never opened a thread towards her. I know
Okay,
I know Agra responds to her quite often, but I don't even have that much of a history with Ilskane. She came to me with like actually kind of half took my side when the whole Hebro Orgrim thing went down, but then she showed her true colors like not even a month later. Yeah, I don't really bother with her, or I try not to do that anymore. I had that reputation before, and I don't really have any wish to go back to it. If you ever catch me making a rage post at somebody, I hope you call me out on it, because I'll probably wake up the next morning with a hangover regarding it.
Question: were you aware that Mama Moo Moo, the faceless level 1 alt, is Ilskane?
The more you know.
No, but I'm not surprised.
To be honest, I thought that was Aelin, because it was that same level of Down syndrome that seems to permeate certain people on this realm.
Do you
but
feel
whatever.
the forums refine the game? I'm not sure really how to answer that question. I think the forums are another avenue of it, and they can hurt. What's more important, the game? The forums. Oh, or the game or the forums? Oh, the game. I think if that's the question.
I wouldn't say refined. I'd say like enhanced.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I guess it kind of goes back and forth with it. Night Echo. I don't know. I guess it's another part of the ED drama, which that is kind of what makes ED is the forums. If Blizzard were to take away the ED forums, how do you think it would affect ED? It wouldn't, because they would just start the forums over someplace else.
Yeah, they would. Someone has to vouch their, "Lol, you got wrecked," or "Hey, I'm putting up RP events here," stories. It moved, maybe not ED drama or Emerald drama. There you go.
Chris, I have already answered that question. So.
Hey guys, can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Vesker finally found a girlfriend willing to put up with him? King Plasma is all over him right now.
You guys are so cute
I
together.
just want to
I think
acknowledge-
Plasma's underage, though.
Love is
I mean,
so-
we don't really necessarily
Isn't that
know how
perfect?
to. I don't know. I think Vesker can do better.
I don't.
Ooh.
I don't know Vesker well enough to think about what his choices in women or guys or whatever it could possibly be. I mean, he's his own man,
I'm not
and
gonna
I'm afraid
judge.
if I keep talking about him, he's going to run out of fingers and toes to keep count. So, yeah.
We're probably gonna we're just gonna start winding down here. Do you find having all the hosts being friendly with each other makes for a boring show? Well, considering it's the first show, no. I think that the only way to go from here is up.
I secretly still hate Hebro.
Yep. There's a love. do I charge for autographs? No.
Don't you touch me, you filthy casual.
Do you honestly think that Callus uses a kickbox? Yes. Yes, I do. I would put money on
Yes, that's sheared.
Who on the forums has the biggest negative impact on our realm? Who has the most positive?
Usually the people that have a really negative impact on the forums don't actually play the game, though. Just saying.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So the people that get the most downvotes, like, what was it, 72-ish? You rarely ever see them in game.
Who, Himanshu?
No, I was referencing Charx's one thread.
Oh, you'll see Himanshu. You'll just see it. See him with 50 people. Just like you'll see Unholy. You'll just see him rocket winning away from his raid. Let's see. Oh, Jalen. How long did it take me to get to being a strong priest? I don't know. I mean, I have played priest since the end of Wrath, so I don't know. I would say practice makes perfect with anything.
Well, at this point, I feel like we probably should wrap things up.
No more questions.
Over. And we're just going to effectively ignore questions at this point. Now, what
Take
we're
that.
probably going to do, though, is we're going to keep up the thread that we had previously, and we would like to open it up to at least ask you guys over the next week what you would like to see on this show, besides an actual pretty picture for the stream, so that way you guys can actually look at something without, drooling on yourself.
Open it out.
And we can engage a little bit, so that way things can be a little bit more streamlined next time.
It's a test run, it's the first show, nothing's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We're not professionals here. We're doing this for you guys, and we're amateurs. I'll admit it, we're amateurs. I can't say anything like that.
Well, you guys are amateurs. I'm a goddamn professional.
Yeah. What they say in that thread, like, Xeer has, like, the perfect radio voice. Oh my gosh, swoon. Hashtag swoon.
Not my problem. All the ladies get a little bit moist thinking about me. So,
But no, in all honesty, though, like, the only thing that I really don't want to do is to turn the show into either a troll fest or just like a drama fest to the point of just trashing someone over and over and over. Like, we're gonna take jabs. That's gonna happen. But I would like to get some honest opinions about what you'd like to see.
Yeah, it's not like we're opposed to having controversial guests. It's just we don't want somebody who's just going to be belligerent. Somebody who's willing to work with us.
I don't know, man. I would love to see Vesker on here if he could actually
Two
calm
guests.
down. long
Vesker,
enough.
Heltor would be two of the most interesting people, I think.
Dude, I would
Two
rather
guests
have
who hate each other and the topic they share. That would be. I would do that.
Yeah.
Heltor and Vesker would be a bestseller.
No, I feel like all those two together, it would just be those guys yelling. Well, Vesker yelling salt to the top of his lungs while Helter showing off his arena ratings, and
Spamming.
it would be funny for like 2 minutes, but then I'd probably go off and like go to a bar or
And
something.
I would say that's true, Heltor, but you can slow it down. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to get like kind of like a dual opinion, on the show.
It's nice now because we know what we do, and it's easier to give feedback on something that you've witnessed rather than just trying to come up with stuff like what we're going to do for a show. Because it's a lot like writing. Like it's easier to edit something you already written out than to write something brand new. And we can go back on this show and like re-listen to it or think about it and be just like, hey, let's do this instead, or let's not spend so much time on this and do this.
Jalen, as much as I would love to get Rezo on the show, the moment that anyone says something about him, that he would bubble Hearth out, so we really can't do that. But definitely I would like to get some, like, controversial people on here. The reason that we picked... Wow, that was about to sound really bad. We wanted the first show to be somewhat mellow, just as kind of a starting point, because we are definitely new to this. Like, up until... yesterday or 2 days ago, we were not planning on doing it through Twitch. We were planning on doing this through Sorrow's Blogspot Radio, but $40 a month, fucking stupid. So we're definitely kind of experimenting with this as well. Would we ever consider getting Kittylicious on the show? Yes, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Xeer's
That's
penis
good.
is still.
You guys don't talk about my dick as much as you guys want to. I am definitely thinking that kind of topic.
Having Kitty on the show would definitely make it be good for ratings, so to say. I
I don't know.
Am I the only one in this show right now that didn't have a story written about me?
Well, you didn't do anything to her because you weren't around. I mean, you probably just existing would have been enough for her to feel like you pissed her off enough to have a
I
thousand.
don't know. I feel like
That's true. I don't think I ever pissed her off.
I feel like having Kitty on the show, like even though I disagree with a lot of the shit that has done, a lot of shit that she has done, I think that it would be kind of setting her up for getting shit on the entire time, and I'm not necessarily certain I'm comfortable with that.
I am. I'm totally fine with it.
We're not the ones with the wire through the penis, so I think you have a.
He's a shitlord.
I mean, hey, the chat's been going on and on about how boring the show is. Like, if we bring Kitty on, then you guys ask for it.
I think
Or
that
Vesker.
it would be. I'm not sure if Kitty would do it. Do you guys think Mort Skane show would offer healthy competition? I certainly hope so. My biggest fear with the Ilk Skane Mort show is that, well,
My biggest problem with it is Ilskane.
yeah.
I'm just curious to see if she'll actually show up with her pom-poms and you'll hear them rattling in the background. But I can only dream.
I actually kind of like Mort. I don't have anything against him. I know a lot of people feel justified in not liking him, and I can kind of agree with that to a sense. But personally, he's always been pretty cool with me.
What about Nixon? I would love to do.
Nixon?
Yeah. I'd love to get Nixon on the show.
Yeah.
In fact, I've already actually asked her about it, and she's for it. Do we? You guys go over questions with him before? No, we don't.
Mm-mm.
Well, guys, with that said, I feel like we need to wrap this up. So,
Aww.
thank you all for... we're going to end it right now because you guys are umming and hawing too much. People are going to wonder if you guys are actually sitting next to each other tugging at whatever you guys have underneath the desk. So, we're going to get out of
Get
here.
about that time.
You caught
guys-
me and Anna.
We
Yeah.
actually do hope you enjoyed the show. And
Thank you all for tuning in.
Only way to go is up from here, and I think that it'll be a lot of fun.
All right,
So,
kids. Remember,
Hectic.
have
Oh, by the
fun.
way,
Thanks.
also one last special shout out, Kel. I just thought that you wanted to hear your name again, so there it is, Kel.
Oh, and shout out to Ezio, #1 cutest rogue.
Who?
He told me to say it.
Oh,
Peace
that's
out,
fantastic.
guys, and thank you for watching the show.
Good night, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
Night.